Watch as racers Michael Box and Mark Van Tongeren talk about strategizing score O's in adventure racing. Oftentimes in races, racers are challenged to strategize which checkpoints they'll attack and how much time they think they'll need to attack them. This video discussion sheds some light on the key considerations for these race situations. You might also notice, if you are new to adventure racing maps, that they provide significantly less detail than the standard orienteering map you may have seen in some of our other videos. The scale for this map was 1 to 24,000.
Okay, this is the final O course of the Summer Fury. I was racing solo. I had come to the finish area, which was the last TA, and they handed us this map. And this was a score O. You had to get at least 2 of them to be a ranked team. I don't believe any team was going to have a possibility of clearing them all. So basically, I took a look at this map and said, okay, my minimum is to get 2 to be a ranked team. So that's my ultimate goal, was to get at least 2, but I want to give myself an option to get more. I wanted to be able to get 2 really easy and back out if I had to, if I was running out of time. So my course that I saw here, I wanted to kind of make a small loop, and my loop had the possibility of 4 points if I had time, but it also had a bailout after 2 points and a bailout after 3 points. And what I did is I chose to go to 39 and basically did a road run all the way. I was counting these curves, and as soon as I got to this curve, I paced off another about 100 meters right here, and then took a bearing from where I was straight in. This one wasn't on a real defined feature. It took a little. I zigzagged back and forth. Once I got into about the distance that I needed to be, I zigzagged back and forth in here. And eventually I found it. Probably took 5 minutes inside the circle to find it. It wasn't too difficult because I had a good distance from the road here and a good direction.
Sure. And we looked at that too. Definitely the road was fast all the way out. We just weren't sure about kind of the mushiness of that terrain. So we did a similar thing, except for instead of 39, we dropped down. I'll just use this. We knew this was all trail from another map that we were getting, so we were using that map. We got to here, and then from there the trail went south, and we had to kind of skirt the ridge line above. This was actually a filled-in lake here. You knew that from the night before because we were running by there, and you kind of knew it from just being there. We followed this ridge line, stayed up high because anytime you're near water features, they generally are thick with vegetation down below, and it's just nice to have a better vantage point up high. The challenge there is Michael could avoid a couple of these reentrants. We kind of had to kind of hop through these reentrants to get down to 34, and I'll let you talk about 39 to 34.
Okay, once I had 39, I knew my location. I took a bearing from 39 to 34, and I took a bearing off my map, and I actually did a slight aim off to the north of 34, because what I didn't want to do is miss the point and keep going down past 34. I knew there was a lake right there, so if I aimed off north of 34, then I would hit the lake, then I could drop down and hit 34. I ended up, once I got close to that re-entrant, I actually was able to, I was above the point and actually spotted it, so once I got to that re-entrant, I dropped right in, found it right away, didn't have to look for it. From there, this was my first bailout point, so I took a look at my time. If I was running out of time, my bailout was to handrail this lake all the way back up and follow the road in. I felt that I had enough time to keep moving on, so I actually followed this lake, kept this up on this ridge, followed the lake, kept the lake in view until right about here. And I knew there was some trails that crossed through here, and I actually took a bearing from the point of this lake all the way to 3. And again, I aimed off north of it because I knew I would hit a trail. And if I missed the trail, I would hit this big Sevens Lake. So I would know to head south. So I actually came across one trail, passed over it, came across another trail. Once I hit that trail, I headed straight south. The trail curved, but I kept going right to the end of the spur. Found that point rather easy. At this point, I had another bailout. I looked at my clock. I was debating on whether I was going to go to 42. There was a trail that came back east, south, and back west all the way there. It was basically an out and back. At that point, it was debatable if I could have gotten down to 42 and back with enough time. I opted to bail out at that point, give myself a nice cushion to get back. And I knew there was a trail that headed right up along here in between these lakes. Like Mark had indicated, there was from the morning run, we knew there was a trail that went right through here, right across this causeway, back up to the road. Got just past this depression here, and I knew there was a trail right to the finish. Instead of following the road, I decided to just take this trail right along the lake and up to the finish. So that was my decision, just to get 3. I had to get 2. I got my 2. The goal, if I had gotten 4, that would have been great, but I wasn't sure if I had enough time. So I played it safe and just got the 3.
And then, so at this point, we had 34 and 33. We had our 2, but we did have time to get our 3rd, different than Michael's 3rd, but we went down to 42. I think we actually just cut across here because it was fast enough moving. In hindsight, I might have taken the trail up on the ridge around, but we cut from 33. Stayed away from the thickest vegetation near the lake, came up on this peninsula and this hill and got 42. At that point, we decided the trail was maybe a little bit faster route, and as we were running out of time, we wanted to stick to the trails, and so we just followed the same route that Michael took all the way back to the finish.